I am learning Scottish Gaelic. You're not even in Scotland. How are you doing that? Well, in this video, I will tell you just how I'm learning Scottish Gaelic, or Gaelic, all the way down here in North Carolina. I am Carl, and this is my Lingo Kingdom, where I talk about learning languages of the Isles. Comhachag, Nihongo, and Gaelic. Wa ama, acharich, kimra ho, Jane Tinamorst. Is Mr. Carl, ha beagan Gaelic aka, ha bjorla akan kajoch, Kurisha ha jija galach an draste. Sjau, ha I fuer agus fliuch aunanish. Is tullum ushkebeha, ha ushkebeha glaive lasta. Is tullum coffee, ach ha tullum brocha shinkast, ha brochen hodona. Because I don't live in Scotland, and there's not really a place that I can just go to and take language classes, the main way that I'm learning Gaelic is through apps. And of course that means Duolingo. The interesting thing about Duolingo is that, unlike how it is in Japanese, where it's actually been kind of difficult to learn kind of conversational phrases in Duolingo for Japanese, and it's actually been more helpful with grammar. When you're talking about the Gaelic, Duolingo is actually very helpful. Even though some of the sentences are kind of, quirky and supposed to be very nonsensical and amusing to help you remember things, it's actually been very fun and very helpful to use. And there's actually Facebook groups, of people who are also learning Gaelic on Duolingo all across the world. And it's really, really cool. The other app that has been so great that I'm so glad that they actually have Gaelic is Mango. Now, if you've watched my video about how my wife and I are learning Japanese, and you've heard me talk about Mango, and I'm so glad that they have Gaelic. And it's been teaching me even more conversational stuff than Duolingo is, because Duolingo has been helping me with vocabulary and pronunciation, and then Mango helps give me those kind of introductory phrases that I can use in order to, talk to somebody if I ever met somebody on the street who spoke Gaelic. I've actually run into a couple of people from Scotland, and I've started to try to talk to them in Gaelic, and they kind of knew what I was saying. At least one of them did, but neither of them were actually fluent. So if you want to hear about those stories where I've tried to use Gaelic here in the States, then let me know down in the comments below. So even though the apps are kind of the main way that I'm learning Gaelic, also, of course, listening to music. There's so much folk music out there, and traditional, songs in Gaelic. And of course, that leads me to the next thing, which has been so helpful in me learning Gaelic, which is YouTube. There's lots of cool videos online and lots of resources out there, but the best by far for learning Gaelic is the channel called Gaelic with Jason. And if you're interested in Gaelic at all, I'm sure that you've probably run across his channel at one point or another. Now, Olaf Jason, or Professor Jason, the reason why I like him is because he's so cheerful, he's so encouraging, and his videos focus on teaching through comprehensible input, where he's teaching the language in the language and using all these gestures and hand signals and drawings so that you understand what he's saying without having to go through another language, which kind of diminishes your returns when you're trying to learn a new language. That means that his videos are more than entertaining, they're also effective. And so he's also got an online course, which I highly recommend you check out, where you can learn beginner Gaelic, and if you've already fairly proficient at beginner Gaelic and you want to do the intermediate course, he's also got an intermediate Gaelic course as well. And I've got links for that down in the description. Now finally, in addition to the apps and all the YouTube videos and stuff like that, the next thing that I want to be able to do, which I'm going to start hopefully very soon, is to be able to read in Gaelic. Now, I do have the Beowulf app, the Bible app, where the whole Bible is in Gaelic. I do have that on my phone, but that's pretty far above my reading level for right now. And so, while I'm getting ready for that, I have this book. You can see it's a very small book, and it is Ronas agus Macodriu. It is a collection of short stories inspired by Scottish and Irish folk tales, and it is written by none other than Jason Bond, the guy with the YouTube channel and the courses that I was just talking about. And this is designed to be accessible to the beginner adult reader to help you build vocabulary and fluency. Somebody gave this to me for a Christmas present. I've already started it and I love it. And it's also really cool to have been learning Gaelic for less than a year and already be able to pick up a book like this and kind of understand parts of it. And I can't wait to get even further into it. Mash that like button if you've enjoyed listening to me struggle with my beginner Gaelic. And if you are further along with me, or you're a native speaker and you want to give me some tips or correct my grammar, please do so in the comments. Now, if you want to get yourself a copy of Rona agus Macodrium and start reading in Gaelic, then click the link below to get yourself a copy of this book. And as Bruce Fumi always says at the end of his videos, shout out to Bruce, love your channel, bro. Hami dochas gumila mali cheriendrast.